so fucking precious when you smile.
Straw love. Let's get some food before we leave. Hi.
Hello.
Well, there you go. Ham and cheese.
All right, sweet.
No problem.
Hold on, I got this. I got this. All right, there we go. Thank you very much.
No worries. You have a great day now.
You as well, thanks.
Hello.
All
there.
right. Can I please get 2 premium combos?
Yep. And what middle would you like?
Ooh, Richie Rich, that's all right.
Yep. No problem.
Thanking you, thanking you.
Okay. And what is your state ID, please?
It is 43945.
I don't know where
that's
Patrick
yours.
is, so he is around.
Thanking you. I've got that, and that is paid. Nice, thank you.
Cheers. Okay. And your food's on the tray. Thanks so much for coming to Shrubway.
Thanking you. Let's grab all this. I'll give you the food we get in the car, mate. Cool. Right then. Have a good day.
You too. Hi there. What can I get you?
Hi. Think I'll just have a mushkin meal.
Okie dokie.
Would be
And what please is your state ID?
15713.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
No worries. Let me just put this on the tray there for you.
Appreciate that.
There you go. Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for coming to Sharkway.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.
Greenery thrown into the bucket.
Stop by the store and get you a polish for this car.
Yeah, I was going to. Ow.
I'll go grab it.
Oh. You know, I had something written down, but I just scrapped it. I'll just do it on the go.
I mean, you're surrounded by friends. You don't need to have some sort of pre-written.
Well, You need food?
I could do with a little morsel.
There you go.
Thank you.
You need a drink?
Not right now, but I will.
Just take it. Happy music back? No. No happy music. I didn't even tell where to meet. I just assume people know the garage.
Yeah.
Why is the Danish flag there? Did Toby do that? Are you okay, Junkie? Imagine no one shows up, chat. That would just be like funny to me. Yeah. They know. There's someone in the air 34 prison maybe. See that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even sure who would be using that nowadays. Yo.
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 No.
On time as always
up,
for
guys?
now. What's up?
What is always?
On time as always.
Is this, you guys think this is it? As turnout?
I was just about
Probably,
to
I
ask,
mean-
are we expecting any more?
Yeah.
I was expecting less people to build.
Well, thanks for coming. It's good to see you again.
Always.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm just gonna sit down. Get my ass standing.
I got pictures from Asmodeus on the beach, so I'm sure he's here on spirit.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Sunburnt as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some people who probably would be here, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not really gonna try and beat around the bush much. I just want to say thank you guys for coming here, first of all. But I mean, I'm sure some of you might realize what it's about still, and so on. But even so, before we get to that, I guess I just want to say sorry for my shortcomings throughout everything, and like my inability to make things better for all of us,
Okay.
as it were.
I'm looking.
Oh,
I'm looking. Nope, I don't see any shortcomings.
No, I don't think you.
Yeah.
I don't need. I
Yeah,
don't think you need to apologize for any of that.
Shortcomings.
Yeah, you see any? You see? No.
No, no, nothing over
In that
here.
side? No, that's just an empty corner.
Over here? No, nothing over here.
you guys are silly. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can turn the clock back like 3-ish months, right? Which is like 3.5-ish. That's when back when we basically lost Cora and Cade like pretty close to each other, you know? And then you know, 3 more right after that. And I think after that I flew out of state for a while. So did Calliope, and I think so did a lot of other people too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody did.
It was bad timing, like really bad timing.
Yeah.
Just when it
Timing
happened,
and
the
coincidence.
ticket nuke disappear happened as well. Like,
That's true.
For example, spoiler hasn't been around because of the ticket nuke,
Yeah.
which I don't blame people for. I also disappeared for like 2 weeks after that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen him. It's been a long time since I've
Just to
seen.
put it out there really early, like the 5 people that left, nothing to do with you. It was just circumstance.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how to put this, but I feel like if I had a lot of the experience I have now from the beginning, I could go back and like make things better. But it's like it feels like such an unreasonable thing to say too, because you know can't really time travel. I'm really happy with everything that we've done. I think that us as a crew was always against the stream, right? Like, kind of not meant to live to begin with. I almost feel like, especially
Oh,
with
yeah.
like the established leaders and the crews around, we were like kind of doing. I mean, we were doing like what no one else was doing, I feel like, and that's difficult. But we still managed to find a lot of people, and I think even though we had like, I don't know, you guys remember when we had an awful time with the cops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we were getting fucked in the ass. And like at the time we were like feeling like that was the worst that could happen to us, like we were getting shafted. I think back to
Yeah.
Because we were the most visible at that time.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
a
that
good
was
thing.
when the whole agreement happened and we're literally the only ones holding it.
yeah, we were the smallest crew. We were like the ones least like with the least chance of doing anything that the other crews were doing or would be doing, and we were the only ones that agreed to it and got fucked for it.
Yeah, I think that was like stupid thinking of the cops, to be honest. Because the whole agreement was, you know, rep your stuff, we won't go as hard on you. What happens, we're the only ones repping our stuff, they go all in on us.
Yep.
There's always
Instead
been
of going to
prison
the
time.
people that didn't rep anything, which was their whole point.
Yeah. I'm kind of mad.
Like-
I never got to know why that happened.
I think it was a good thing. It's because we were the only visible crew out there during that time. Everybody,
Yeah.
like Sosa said, was running dark. Like nobody was repping Dark Colors.
Yeah.
Every race during that time, there was 4 or 5 prism calls and maybe somebody had a vendetta livery on, and maybe there was somebody in a red line jacket, but like we were the only visible crew, so I think it was just the cops being going after the low hanging fruit, and I think that's a boon for us.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in that sense, we were at the time like the purest racing crew, right? Because like everyone else would just like, I don't know. Everyone else has like all the other stuff going on too, and for whatever reason they decided not to follow the agreement. And I think really that's when like we made a name for ourselves, honestly. And Pry, I'm sorry. I wish things had gone differently too with you.
I don't think you need to be sorry about what happened because of my own stupidity. I just feel bad that because of my actions, I feel like it got, I'd say it blew back on Prism in total, I feel like. So I don't think you need to be apologizing for that. I think I should be the one apologizing to you, to everyone.
No, I mean like when you invite someone to the crew, it's like you accept that things like that might happen, and then you're okay with that. I mean, you don't plan for it, right? But if it happens, and then you deal with it. And what I'm like when I'm talking about how we were like against the stream always, like the non-violent ways and all that, it's part of that made us, I guess, susceptible to. I mean, it's proof of that, right? The police like kind of abused that, and then when you got in hot water, it got kind of taken advantage of as well. And
It hasn't been only the cops, but yeah.
exactly, yeah, it's like been other people as well. Even like with the MRL stuff, right? I don't know if you remember much with the PM initiation and yada yada. We were threatened by both Yokai and Vendetta, and it's like, yeah, what are we gonna do? Like, we're not much to retaliate at all, and it's just like, just gotta talk our way out of it, or just swallow whatever shit gets thrown our way, right?
I still think we came out on top of that.
I think so, yeah. I think in the end we
Our
did.
relationship strengthened with Red Line. Yokai was kind of viewed as some fake cult trying to take over power that wasn't theirs, and Vendetta was kind of laughed at, especially when it was, what was it, the fake puppet thing?
Mm-hmm. Fake puppet,
Yeah,
puppet
they were
Randy
using
Bullet.
Voldemort's Jesco.
Voldemort's just
to me, it was just clear that so many people had a chip on their shoulder for us. It's just, yeah, we were the easy target, but it's also because at the time, Cade and Shadestep, and then even Prior originally, and you, like, you guys were just beating everybody. And you have all these racers that are being beaten on the street, and then the only thing they can do is just yell at you off the streets.
I don't know if you guys seen Shade lately. He's gotten insane.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He's the only person that I see during late NA racing,
Yeah.
like that I know of constantly.
Mm-hmm. I'm just. I mean, Kate too, like really good, and I'm not gonna say like I feel like maybe coming here and their time here helped them grow into that at least a little bit. Now they're
Sure.
out there doing their thing. Same for you, like everyone. I feel like it got so much better when going through everything.
It was nice having that underdog feeling when you're racing and coming on top of a lot of other crews.
Yeah, it was.
Only being beaten by the occasional goofy or somebody else from within Prism, really.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm super super fucking proud of what we did, but I spent a lot of time thinking to myself when I was out of state, and I don't know. I don't think I have it in me to like be at the head of this anymore and take Prism further. I don't know if Prism is even made to live anymore personally, but I wanted people to come here, so at least I got to talk to you face to face. And if someone wants to you know, pick up the ropes or whatever, I didn't just want to like close the book on everyone and just dip. I just wanted to at least, if anyone wants to,
Like, you're still coming around occasionally and racing and just being around, right?
yeah.
Okay. So, like, what role do you feel like you're not fulfilling anymore then? Getting more numbers, recruiting people? Do either of us or any of us really care about that?
I don't know. I'm just like done dealing with all the rejection and hardships, in a way, I guess. And it almost feels like I mean, I feel a bit shameful too, you know, about it all. Like just
What
leaving it.
context?
I feel shameful in the way that, how do I put this? It's gone so long, nothing's happened, and no one's really talked much about Prism at all. I haven't talked to you guys, and I don't know. Just leaving you guys in the dark, myself in the dark too.
Okay, well, I mean, then raise your hands if you're expecting anything, like in the past 2 months. I see no hands.
I'm just gonna say that I think it's way better that people don't talk about you instead of them talking about you for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Example, a lot of people talk about Vendetta nowadays. You wanna know why?
Probably for bad reasons.
No,
How do I mean? Like, it's better that no one talks about you at all instead of for the wrong reasons, or?
yeah, I very much think that that's a better thing. I would rather no one mentioning me instead of being mentioned as the guy that always shoots at the end of a race, for example.
Like,
Yeah.
We have a good reputation. There's even other than whatever happened outside of the PM initiation for the Emerald thing. Like, even Yokai can't really come out and be like, "Oh, those fucking Prism idiots." Like, no, not to sound cheesy, Anna, but you realize you are like a superpower in the racing scene to begin with. Like, you talked about like what the other crews had and what we didn't, and how they were more established. And yeah, you're right. Redline, Goofy and Tony was a very strong leadership duo, and that attracted a lot of people. And Tony S was a good racer, but he also had a lot more connections outside of that, and that's probably what drew people there. Same thing with Vendetta; they had the whole Hydra establishment. Same thing with Yokai. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to have gotten under the wings of the Red Devil and fucking the shed builder Eddie? Like, you just on your own, again, not to sound cheesy, but all you are known for was that you're a fucking good racer, and that's it. And out of that, you literally created a crew out of fucking nothing. You didn't have to rely on anything else, and Prism has established that reputation on your shoulders for that entire time. Like, there's nothing shameful to be if we just sit in the shadows in the background, not doing anything or not growing. We still have a reputation, and we still have the foundation that you built that we all use.
Yeah, like you said, we literally started when, like, against the odds. Like, literally, when we both started this, there was people literally trying to kill me as we started this. And
Yeah.
we've always have people going, against us since the beginning. And even though, we don't have, I guess, the name or resources or whatever, we're still here. And we've come a long way since, it all started. And true, we've dealt with some fuck up stuff. And like you said, we usually are seeing, like, kind of want to put it like the scapegoats that people can bully us around because of, whatever reasons. Like you mentioned, for example, with Brian, the whole him getting tortured and stuff, blah blah blah, with him and blood, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though literally to Ninja, who snitched willingly before Priya, and literally nothing happened to him just because he's under Tony. Like, I know that we've always been, against the odds, but even with all, literally, I won't say literally everyone against us, we're still here.
Yeah, look
And
what we have.
I-
Considered what the tools that you and Souls had at the very beginning, and compare that with everybody else, and then look at the end result. I mean, fucking prism tags all over the place. I was laughing when me and Priya went to go paint our cars, prism tag inside the Bennies. We have our own fucking garage, our own place. Our name is known. Like, okay, so we're not actively recruiting. We're not doing these 12-man deep runs around the city or robbing banks. But like, unless someone actively wants that shit, we're not putting that expectation on you to do something that nobody's really asking for. Like, okay, sure, maybe you feel like you're not being an active leader, but I mean, I'm not picking up the phone and calling and being like, hey, Anna, can you do this for us? I'm very content with where we are, and if we grow naturally out of, our stagnation, then okay, it happens. Maybe someone takes initiative and does something, and okay, we do it, but it's still going to be under your flag.
I think the problem is that so many people aren't around anymore these days, and we've lost so many members. It's like, do you really want to, like, if you want to be around more, being in this crew is kind of like an anchor, or a weight, because you're being dragged around, and you're being dragged down, being held back by a crew with a lot of members that just don't come around anymore and aren't really doing stuff anymore. And if you want to get involved and be a part of other things going on, you can't remain in a crew that isn't really around anymore. And we just don't have the time and the will anymore to try and claw our way back into the scene. It's already hard enough now. It's even harder than it was when this crew started.
Then maybe that's why I encouraged Shadestep to do what he did.
Yeah.
But that's not a negative on us, or that's not a negative on your leadership.
Do you guys remember Pasta? You guys remember what happened to him?
I remember we wanted to recruit him.
Yeah.
PCB?
Yeah. So Clive and me, we've known Pasta for a while, okay? And like, he used to hang out he was like Santa Nova, right? You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
His friends with Victor, Mr. Lee, like they were like a whole group, right? And we had I'm really good friends with Victor. Clive was really good friends with Mr. Lee. So like Pasta was like a very old friend of ours, right? And he's been racing for a long time, on and off. He's like a good driver, and a good dude, really good dude. Like, in fact, I lost my
Karambit scandal.
yeah, I lost my Karambit, and he helped me get it back from the PD. So you know, I felt like at the time I felt really close to him, and I remember we were talking to him in Kitani's part, and we were like talking about Prism, right? Because he was doing like a photo shoot for his book of Calliope and me, and we're talking about Prism, and he was like, I think his words were, "I'm not looking to join a crew right now. But if I were to join one, I would join you guys." And I was like, okay, that feels reasonable. Maybe he just doesn't want to like be in a racing crew. But if he did want to, like if he did choose to, then he'd join us. Well, that's reasonable. And then I think, was it the day after or 2 days after? I think there was an MRL thing going on. He was literally repping VCV. And that is just like one of many things that one of many like rejections that or like defeats I've had to deal with, I guess you could say. And
I mean,
I
I'm sure
think,
it was hard on you emotionally, but also it's not to be blunt, but like don't feel bad about the actions of others.
right.
Yeah, also, I'll be honest, Sesentanoa was dying. I can tell you, ultimately, his motive wasn't joining BCB to try and be a racing crew. He was joining BCB because that's basically GG.
Yeah, there was clearly some underlying reason for whatever he did for that MRL.
I think
Maybe.
the hardest one for me was when the last tryouts we held, and AC was like the only one that to actually show up.
I really think that goes back to what we originally said about when everyone kind of flew out. The timing was horrendous, and yes, I know that only a month earlier the Redline tryout had a huge turnout, but there was just the city was a ghost town. You know, bad weather, nobody was on the streets, and a lot of construction. We just hit a dry vein in our attempt. That's it.
Yeah, but you could say that it's been dry for a while now, and Redline and Yokai still pulled new members and Vendetta.
True, but like Yokai, when I see the new members, it's all people that were always in the shadow or the orbit of Mary in whatever, in some business aspect or nothing. They all had a connection to her some way or another. All of our members. Did we ever have an open tryout before I joined?
Nope.
No.
And after I joined, I remember each new member. It was always like an individual approach. It just could have been. That's just not Prism style to do an open tryout. It was a good idea by Cade, and he tried to organize it as best as he could. But like I said, the one thing that Anna did not have, that Tony did, that Mary did, was an establishment outside of racing. So when we approached these individual racers strictly for racing, that's when we got that interest. That's when we got the good drivers. But then when we do an open tryout, yeah, sure, we got Hood, but it was just a disadvantage, and we tried to work it to our advantage, but it just didn't work out. That's not a defeat. It's just a style of recruitment that didn't work out for us.
Yeah,
Before
but I
the
think
open tryout,
I think it kind of
didn't we hit
underlines
20?
it.
Or like almost 20?
Yeah, I just think it kind of underlines sort of the issues that we face, being kind of the underdog crew, and it's just difficult, man. It's just really hard. I mean, if it takes us just as long to get a new member, by the time we get a new member, we lose a member. It's tough, man.
And I understand that treadmill sucks, but that goes back to my original question. Like, what is the remaining members here expectations? And I will say it straight up. For me, personally, I enjoy being able to put on the jackets, even if it's considered a legacy racing crew rather than an active racing crew. I like being considered a Prism racer. I like the reputation that we developed. I like knowing that Anna was the only person in the city that could have ever challenged Goofy, and did. I like knowing that we had a core of racers that at the point was probably the best, 6-person crew that we could have ever put up in the entire city. I like the wins that we had. I like the experiences that we went through, and like I said, if that turns into a legacy racing crew, so fucking be it.
Yeah, and you know, I agree with you, Bruno. Right? It's even if even if Prism like officially disbands today, you know, there's I don't think anyone's going to complain if you continue to rep the Prism jacket and the Prism livery, right? I
But then I don't
think
think we need to disband. Like we can be legacy with still like knowing that Anna is our, you know, the leader, and we have the founders, and we still have that hierarchy that we can look at, and that gives us, unless Anna wants to move on to something else and that's her decision, okay, that makes sense. But if she doesn't, then I still have no reason considering Anna to be, you know, the OG, because that gives us a someday in the future, who knows? Maybe we flip the switch from legacy to active again, and then we have that founding step. We have that structure.
I also don't think that people see us as unknown or legacy or stuff like that. Because true, whenever I showed up to races during late NA, sometimes people would approach me and would be like, "I thought that you guys were gone," and I was, yeah, like, nope, still here, still kicking. But people still are aware of us, even people that I never met before.
Yeah, the Prism name is known, like, and I actually like that. I like when somebody's like, "Oh shit, there's a Prism racer here." It gives us some mystique.
Yeah, I can guarantee to you that if we go to a race right now and there's PD and they see both us and, I don't know, Vendetta, they're 100% gonna go for us. Why? Because we have a reputation, and they know that if they go after us, they're not gonna get shot in the face in an alleyway or something like that.
And I honestly think that's still a good reputation to have, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
It sucks for us, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree, and I, like, no matter what happens, it's like, what Prism is and has been, like, it's always gonna be a big part of me. And I think, like how I've been talking to Shay lately, he is always, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of the values and, like, ideas that we went by, they're still very much present in, well, mostly like Shade and Kid, and like because those are the ones I've seen the most lately, and like they're very much like bear the mark, I guess you could say, and as far as like what to do with the crew, like, I'm not sure if like if the options are stay stagnant and not do anything, or like try really hard and like get met with with the same kind of rejections, those aren't really options to me, I feel like, because I don't know, both feels very hard to deal with, and I'm like pretty checked out, I guess.
So
you
then,
could say.
let me ask you a question: if a good reason for you personally to step down is because you feel like you're not fulfilling something, I don't think that way. So that's not the reason coming from me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you feel more relieved, or are you always going to consider, regardless, that you feel like you're not, fulfilling whatever role?
Yeah, I think that you're just putting weight on your shoulders that no one else in this group is expecting you to put on yourself.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's only 4 of us outside of here other than you. Like, I think if we just really went around the circle, nobody's gonna say we're expecting something from you, Anna. But again, it's to respect your decision. If you feel like you don't want to be in that role, even if we're not expecting something, yeah, of course, we'll have to respect it. But don't add me to that tally of this guy wanted something from me and I couldn't deliver.
No, that's fair. Like, I think the fact that you're here today probably goes to show that you wouldn't feel that way, I suppose. So that makes sense what you're saying.
And again, I'll reiterate, like I'm a very patient person. I don't mind, being in the shadows for a while, and then one day there's a spark of fresh ideas, or just a spark of morale, or all of us happen to be around someday, and we're like, oh shit, let's do something, and then that just starts the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And if that happens in 1 month, or if that happens in 6 months, I can bide my time. But like again, I'll respect your decision if you don't want to be in that role whenever that happens, if that happens, because you're going to feel like, well, I'm not actively starting, I'm not the one that's pushing the snowball down the hill. Just know again, like there's no expectation, and it's not a bad thing. Like, you are a great leader, and you still are a great leader.
Mm.
And the lack of expectation isn't that, like, I don't expect you to actually be able to procure something. It's just that I understand when it's not like a lack of motivation, but just timing is a crucial thing. And the timing for me was also really bad. I could have been around more often, but I've decided to fly out a lot. I have a lot of obligations, and
I mean, you've been around more than most, though. Let's be honest. So as far as biding your time and like being patient and all that, I feel like in a way I've like already done that. Does that make sense, right? Like, there were periods where we didn't have much going on or many people joining at all for like really long stretches of time, and there'd be positive things happening here and there, and then you'd go a little while and another person would leave, or like something would happen, and to add on top of all of that, I don't even have as much. I don't think I'm ever. Well, not to say ever, but I don't think I'll be able to have as much time as I did, especially when Prism was created. Like, maybe if I did have as much time back then as I do now, and with the experience I have, there would be a chance, but I don't know. It's
you feel like
tough.
for you personally, you just you, you'll feel more, I don't know, less restricted or less restrained if you moved on. And I'll immediately preface that if you do move on, like there's not going to be any anger or resentment. It's a fully understandable decision. Regardless of how many times I can say, like, we're not expecting anything, it is still a burden to carry, and it's still a weight to carry. Do you want to move on, Anna?
Yeah, I do. And I mean, that's why I wanted to talk to you guys today, because I feel like you deserve to hear that in person.
I'll
Yeah, I
fully back
mean,
it.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot like how the dilemma Shade was in, right? Where he wanted to do things and be a part of things, but it's hard to get involved with things when you're, you know, tied to a group that's not really active anymore. Um, and and then that's all just compounded by like if she was a leader of the crew, then it's like, and even not only do you have all sort of those restrictions, but then you're also, while no one might say it, and no one thinks it, at the end of the day, being a leader requires a certain mindset, and that mindset just inherently carries with it senses of obligation, and especially if you don't have the time to fulfill those obligations, it makes it even harder to deal with too. So
And then when Shadestep came up to me like the first time and talked about, oh sorry, the second time maybe, and like that he felt like he wasn't really able to participate in basically the racing scene because of his attachment to Prism, the first thing I did was fully support him. I mean, up to the point that I actually had a conversation with Goofy and Tony and said that should Shadestep ever approach you guys about Redline, don't ever feel bad that you feel like you're going to poach him from us. It's, I gave him the reasons why, and I fully supported Shadestep in leaving. And like, I understand, having to manage two other businesses that, even if it is easy in the sense that there is that burden and you're always attached to it regardless, and that may limit your movement. So I mean, this is just for me. Prior and Souls, I'm sure, have their own opinion, but if you want to move on and you feel like you may be disappointing us, and us I mean like whoever, I won't be. Like I already said that what you established in the city is legendary, and you made a name for yourself. And
yeah, and I will give Shade. I will give Shade props. He to this day, he's the only one that ever approached us before making a decision. He spoke with Anna and I.
Shade's way too nice to have done the disappearing act.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, he was the only one who talked before the talk was, I am leaving. I guess.
Like, and I genuinely feel like if we told him like we wanted him to stay, I feel like he would have stayed too. Like, not like he wasn't just having the talk with us just kind of like as like an afterthought courtesy kind of thing. Like, I genuinely feel like if we talked with Shade and we gave him reasons why we wanted him to stay, he would have stayed. But like Anna and I both know that, like, it would be incredibly unfair, and we want him to succeed, right? And so we gave him our blessing. But yeah, to this day, he's the only person that ever talked to us before making a decision. So that's, some people left the crew more amicably than others, but Shade's the only one that I'll give a complete, pass and like okay, 100% okay in my book.
That's why I didn't want to provide any obstacle for him in leaving, at least emotionally or guilt-wise. And I want to make sure that it's clear that if you do want to move on as from leader, like, to put it simply, no hard feelings.
So, do you remember where we were when, like, when we found it? Do you remember exactly where we were?
Yeah.
Am I remembering right? Is it under like all the pipes and shit at the docks?
Yes, the two silos next to the two silos under the broken bridge by the tunnel show.
Yeah. It's a long time ago now.
Yeah, I remember. We started the whole thing. I told you that I wanted to talk to Spoiler. And then I asked you to talk to Cora because you had more history with her. And then, one day the four of us meet at the place next to Los Autos.
Yeah.
And that was like where things started moving.
Back when she had an allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, Bruno, you're not making it easy, because you've always been such a homie, and I heed your words and advice a lot.
Well, I want to make it easy. Like I said, I'll support your decision regardless of what it is. I just wanted to make sure that you're not leaving. If you do want to leave, you're not leaving because of expectation. And even if that's not the answer, if you want to leave just to be a bit more liberated and not feel that burden, then yeah, I respect that. I've been there also in that situation, and it is a lot more liberating when you don't have that leadership role.
Yeah. I mean, even just. It's not the same at all, but like, I'm just talking about like Antonio, right? He is the one currently dealing with the day to day doings of the pit stop, like stocking and all that. And that's just a business. It's like nothing like this, but like just the relief of not having to worry about that. Because even I think even the pit stop was like dead for a while. And it's just an obligation off my shoulders. Even though even the store, like no one's like expecting anything there, but it's just how I am, I guess. You know.
Fully understood. I get it. It literally happened to me this weekend. You know, I had its obligations. I couldn't meet them. Somebody else stepped in really quickly, and it was a huge relief to me. Even though nobody expected me to have finished it, but it was done.
Do you still do the reef stuff?
Hmm.
Is it the reef stuff or something else?
You know, it was the reef stuff this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, like I said, for me, my perspective, you've established yourself the legendary Anna in this scene. You have full rights to do pretty much whatever the fuck you want. I just wanted to make it very clear, at least coming from me, that the inactivity was never going to be a reason for me to be like, yeah, you need to go. But if you want to go, fuck yeah, do your shit. I mean, again, Prism has an amazing reputation. If this is where you leave it at, then there's literally nothing else better you could have done. Regardless of how much hindsight that we do over people leaving, failed tryouts, failed recruitments, like if you put together an entire tally of everything that the crew has accomplished, and this is where you leave it at, and that's where you put your signature, then that's nothing to be ashamed of.
I feel like we took a lot of taking a lot of L's, but we took them with dignity, you know. Fell down, got back up. But
Well, we've never gone to jail for murder.
that's true. We never did do that.
We've gone to jail for driving fast. Whoop-de-fucking do.
Yep. Yeah. We had the responses if we did murder someone.
Mm-hmm.
God. Who was around when I think it was Richard shot when one of us was getting chased?
Yep.
And then, you know, that's where the whole joke comes that we're so violent.
I was the one
Prism is a
getting
violent
chased.
racing crew.
Yeah, you were. And the demon.
Yeah, I remember I was getting chased and I hit on Praia by Upper Pilbows. And we got out of there and by the cemetery. I called Claire Everly and she's telling me that we're fucking shooting at them. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Also, where Shadow Leader Richard came from.
Yeah. I'm so mad that day because there was just one dude at that car. If we had acted quickly, we could have just. I think we were like 3 or 4 people, and he was just one dude with a gun. It's pointless to think about it, but fuck, man.
Well, it's funny to think about it now, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think that the most important thing that day was that everyone got out.
I still remember it. It was like perfectly parked under a street light, and the cop that was like with the car was standing in a way that his shadow fell like really long towards the pillbox. I remember him looking so like ominous looking, the cop there, like in slow motion and all that for me. Yeah.
So, what's the future that you want to see?
Are you talking like for who? For
Well,
what?
You said that you want to move on.
Yeah.
what would be like your preferred, I don't know, conclusion for the crew?
Well, I don't want to deprive anyone of continuing the crew or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna just like close the book on everyone, and if people still want to wear the jacket and want to, I don't want to take that away from people. So, like, if I check out right now, then if people still want to go through with it, then I didn't want to take that opportunity from people.
I mean, I'll voice what I'll do if you do step down and do your thing. I'll just retire myself. Retired crew racer. Still wear the jackets, like
Collect your pension.
pretty much, yeah. Like those guys that won a sports ring from their school days and wear it 60 years later. And should the day ever come that I come out to retirement, then I do. Until then, I'm just a casual racer with a sick ass jacket.
What about you, Priya?
If the case when you step down, Bruno steps down. I've had this thought for a while, ever since I've been, coming around less often, visiting other states. I feel, how to say it, with me not being as around as often, I feel like I'm not, helping with anything, and it feels like I don't know how to say this. It just feels, I guess, wrong for me. Just existing in the crew when I'm not really doing anything with the crew or helping the crew.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. It'd probably be a bit of a relief for you, right? Because now you don't feel like any sort of obligation, right? Again, and it's again, in the same sense towards Anna, right? No one might necessarily expect anything, and if you think about it hard enough, you'd know that. But at the end of the day, right? There's still, a sense of obligation that comes from yourself, because I think I think there's a few people here that probably feel that to some degree, right? Not being around, not doing anything with the crew, and this was like before everyone was taking breaks and the crew imploded and stuff. I mean, so yeah.
I feel bad for AC. He came in during the rupture.
Yeah, he came. The time for him could have not been worse.
I can't. I don't even blame the guy for not showing up today. It's like you join the crew and then all your friends are gone. Like all the people that you actually knew and like were motivations to join the crew aren't in the crew anymore, and yeah, it's rough.
But yeah, the one thing I will say is that you should just do what you want to do and how you feel, and regardless of any decision you make, I'll support it. And, yeah, just do. Just think what what feels best for you and what will
Maybe
what
you
makes
could
you
become
happy.
a chiropractor and help people with knee problems.
Yeah, I mean, I still have troubles, with my left knee, with my left
Mhm.
knee. Sometimes I try to press the brakes, don't really brake as much anymore. It's a bit.
Sell your old ass car and get one with paddle shifters.
I am trying to sell it. Have you not seen me twatting about it the last 2 days?
What about you, Cells?
I need a sip.
I thought he fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie.
Hard to know behind the mask sometimes.
Those masks,
chair-
I've
is
worn
the
them
chair
for
comfy?
a year. They're oxygen depriving. Okay, just give him a chance to catch his breath.
Yeah, he's just asphyxiating under the mask.
Why do you think I changed?
Yeah, if you do open a chiropractor's office, you'll have your first regular customer. When I'm around, at least.
Okay, well, I think I've said my piece then, and I think this is where I park it, and then I feel like maybe we should relay this to the people who weren't able to be here for whatever reason, and then they can have their word too.
Yeah, do you want to put an email?
Probably these motherfuckers like on the beach or like sleeping or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
part of
can
me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say part of me was hoping someone would step up to take over Prism, but I also kind of think it's cool that like I don't know. I don't think it's cool that Prism's dying, but I do think it's there is sort of a mystique to like Prism being like a legacy crew and like
Yeah, man.
it's not
Tabs all
active
over the
anymore, but
city.
you'll still see like people here and there with a jacket or whatever.
This garage will always be around.
And who knows? Maybe in the future, a new Razor shows up, and and maybe they will, see if they could continue the legacy. But who knows?
That'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
I wanted to talk. So, do you want to come with me? I wanted to like talk to you in private. We're probably like going the short drive. So if, I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take, but I just want to say thank you guys for showing up, and I mean, no matter what happens now going forward, like everything we've done and everything Prism is and will be is like forever carved into my personality. So thank you for that.
Just think of how how many little bits of Prism are spread across the city now. It's pretty cool. And we'll always have sick ass knives.
It's true.
Oh shit! I have one still for you, Priya.
I was gonna say.
You
All
never
right.
came by. You took your car to my garage, but you never took the knife.
I mean, thanks for showing up today. Even though, you know, you got told by randoms that this and this is happening and yada yada. I just wanted to at least be able to talk to you, and there's like one thing I want to do, and I feel like it would be nice if we could do it together if you're not, well, granted that you're not mad at me. Let me just get some money, okay? Card was an interesting way of putting it. Yeah.
I hear you.
Is that something like a scratch or something? I've never seen you drive that before.
Wait, what?
The Sentinel? Did you not, or wasn't it you who arrived in the Sentinel?
Well, I'm driving that today because the M5 that I usually use, it's currently the impound.
Oh. Is it a white one?
Now it's pink.
It's the one that Yumi was driving.
I think that she's the one that made it pink.
I watched her do it.
Well, yeah, Ken basically put it there so I could use it, and then somebody made it pink, so I talked to him, and he said that he was gonna come around to like move it from there, and basically give it to fully access to me, but he's been busy, so I don't think he's been around.
I saw a spray at the Route 68's track start. Was that you?
That was me, Uncle Boss.
Yeah. It was here, right?
Yep, to the right.
In the glove box for you? You wanna do one? One last one?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Imagine he just puts up an HOA spray. Not too bad. I'm sorry for all that I wasn't able to do, and thank you for being the only one back then who actually wanted to, well, who cared? Back then, if it hadn't been for you and also Flippy, then no. Don't think I'd be here.
I don't think that you have anything that you need to apologize for. Like, sure, there's things that probably could have been handled better, but
Yeah.
I don't really think that you need to apologize first.
You know, I wish I was a person who had a really good, like, really easy time of just blaming others for problems, because then, you know, I didn't have to deal with all the internal struggles as much, just blaming on other people. I wish I was that kind of person. What's going on with HOA nowadays?
I don't know. Barely anyone wakes up. The ones that wake up are just crackheads. That just spend their entire time with yokai, so.
What, like
I
Rod?
wake up late and I'm just on my own. Yep.
Yeah, probably not wrong. So when you say no one wakes up, you mean like no one, like no Stanley, Mrs., no Andy, like that?
Julio, sometimes. I haven't seen Stanley in forever. Hades, and sometimes, but yeah, I can't even wake up at his place anymore because he hasn't made his ass face. I don't know, it's just like how do I say this? The old guard, I guess,
Yeah.
hasn't really been around, so.
I mean, you're basically old guard, no?
Yeah, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Sis obviously, was the first out of the active people. I'm the 5th oldest member. If I remember correctly, out of the active people, it's first Sis, then Stanley, then Julio, then Daryl, and then me.
Do you... I'm sure you heard, but you know Cora left Seaside and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and then, I don't know, I feel like so many things are changing. And he hasn't told me this, Antonio, that is, so I don't know.
He got blooded out of BBMT.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like high command too.
I don't fucking know. I don't know who's high command in BBMC. I know who's BBMC and I know some of them, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he was like sergeant at arms or something like that, and now he's just.
I don't fucking know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I know
Truthfully.
it's funny coming from me, from quote unquote former MC, but I don't know what the fuck a sergeant at arms or treasurer or any of that shit means.
I don't know, I just assume it means weapon person.
Pierre Tador was the one in charge of like running people up with the worst conflict, I guess.
Oh,
Sorry that, back there I said that I needed a second, but
very good.
the same shit happened when I got frustrated when the whole riot thing happened.
Hmm.
And I was venting to Sis about it.
Yeah. What'd he say?
Back then, well, I was just venting, about the fact that, people want blood and yada yada for us, but they know a known snitch. They didn't do anything to it because it's under Tony, yada yada yada.
Hmm.
And basically the whole, we kind of get bullied. We were the pushover because we don't shoot people.
Yeah. And like, another thing is like people saw our struggles and conflicts as just like quote unquote racer drama and like just brushed it off as nothing important. So just like, well, deal with your own problems, Didn't even care to listen to most of them, at least the people I talked to, other than, the people who were with us, so.
Back then I got in trouble for quote unquote making the whole Praya thing gang thing, even though the only person that I literally talked to was Campos. It was literally the only person. And then after I got yelled at, I found out that apparently Sis knew because Anne knew because Mayomi was going around telling different people. But Mayomi telling everyone apparently was my fault, and I'm the one that made it a gang thing.
Dude, I feel like gangs are just so much drama a lot of the time. I guess if no one wakes up, there can't be any drama either. So.
Yeah, I guess.
You're still the only person I shot.
Well, I think I might be one of the oldest, if not the oldest friend of yours that still comes around, so yeah, that was the first time, I guess.
Yeah. That was a shit show.
Yeah. Just so you know, when I texted you, it wasn't really because I was mad or anything like that about the fact that you probably wanted to move on.
Mm.
It was more so because, finding out from a random that I guess we were probably not a thing anymore.
Yeah, I get it. People talk and like make a feather into 5 birds, right? And I mean, if there wasn't a feather to begin with, that wouldn't have happened. So maybe I should have foreseen that. But I understand, yeah.
Well, you know, I don't blame you for wanting to move on. Um, I'm probably gonna try to reach out to both Antonio and TJ because I did. TJ was around yesterday.
Okay.
I woke up late at night and I checked the app, and he was listed in one of the races. I also saw Priya, but he told me that he wasn't around, and I think that it was just somebody else using his alias with like an H.
What the fuck?
He told me that it wasn't him, and I definitely saw Priya in there. And then I
That's
saw
weird.
somebody else, so I'm gonna reach out to those two, see what they want to do,
Yeah.
and well, the truth is, I'm not around as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really keep this going if, you know, if I don't have any backup. So if those two just want to move on, I guess that's, you know, the same I'll do.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to hear what Antonio has to say. I really don't know where he stands. He told me that. Well, he didn't tell me about the BBMC stuff, but he did tell me that he's gonna have way more time for racing now. But he didn't personally tell me about the BBMC stuff, but I mean, that makes sense now, so. But yeah. But yeah, you should do that. Wanna head back?
Yeah, sure. Let's go back.
So, given a reality where they would want to keep it going, right? Antonio and TJ. If that is a reality that exists, then obviously you'd have at least 3 people who are, I'd say, very familiar with violence. Do you still think you'd like, if that were to happen, do you still think like you'd try and do things the same way, or would you do things differently?
I refuse shooting and getting violent. Because the truth is, fucking. To this day, I still think that Prince is really the only racing crew. Everyone else is just a second gang. Red Line, Vendetta is basically Hydra, Yokai is also a gang. Like, literally all of them are just another gang. Getting violent, and then something happens with them, just creates hate for everyone, not just for people in this, but also for people in like those crews. That I don't think it's worth it just for racing.
Yeah.
I will say before we go in there, if you ever need anything, well, I mean, there's it's the beginning, and I'll still be there. So
As far as I'm concerned, you know, despite maybe having like long stretches of not talking much or being absent or whatever, like you're still OG to me. So that goes for you too.
also, I just want to make it clear that you've been, in my opinion, still the best driver in the city. Wasn't the reason why, like, I approached you in the first place, and I also don't think that is the reason why you were um, so important, I guess, for this crew.
I appreciate that. It was, I mean, it was never about that, right? For us, no. But hey, we still fucked people up. Thank you.
You're fine. You know, maybe one day I can get Gombos to come back around, and maybe Cora would be around at the same time. Maybe we can have a mini OG4 reunion, I guess.
That'd be nice. There's during my time living here, there's very few people who with like no form of nepotism or prior knowledge to who they are, like from living with them in other states or whatever, that ever dared to even take a chance on me, especially like early on. And it's been like there's 3 people in my life. It's you, it's Jalen, and Talmer. Oh, I said Boomer Steel, of course. So, thank you for that. Fuck.
Yeah, no problem. Because I'm gonna try to reach out to Antonio.
Yeah.
And DJ and see what they want to do.
Okay. I mean, not that you're gonna be like obliged to let me know or anything, but if you want to.
I mean, I probably will. Like I said, when I sent you the text about wanting to do something during the daytimes to try and get some more people and get this back rolling, I never really went through with it because, you know, we started this together, so I always waited for stuff like that to always talk to you, even if you were gone for some time beforehand.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably will keep you in the know. Although if both Antonio and DJ just want to move on, I'm just probably gonna drop the racing stuff altogether.
Yeah. It's understandable. But yeah, if you wanna let me know, then that'd be nice.
I will.
Right. You ready to head down?
Sorry, what?
You ready to head down?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, come over here for a second.
What do you say?
I don't know. I couldn't hear.
Did you say something? What did you say?
Yeah, I asked her if she could come here for a second.
You're just gonna chill out here?
Come here.
Okay. Well,
Here.
I'll sorry. You want me to come here?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
But first, uh, assuming they want this to keep on going,
Mm-hmm.
are you okay with us still using this place?
It will be tied to the pit stop, but yeah, I mean, if that happens, we will figure that out for sure.
No,
Yeah. So don't even worry about that.
I'll wait and see what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you for everything.
If you ever need anything, just call. And if there's anything, left unsaid or whatever, or just let me know. It's easy to forget things. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, you too. If you need anything, just let me know. You can just contact me to my regular phone number.
Gotcha. Well, we're probably gonna head out then. I'll
Okay.
I'll see you around then. Okay.
Okay.
Take care. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna go get gas. And then I'm gonna drive Rainbow Road.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm on the car.
Damn, how you doing that, huh?
Hello.
Hi. poor Crypt that he just spoke up.
Yeah.
I think I want to go home.
Okay, let's go.
You're telling me.
Oh,
Well, that's how I feel right now.
maybe we go get it fixed real quick.
I'd have
You
to
never
go to
know.
Harmony. I think I'll just leave it for tomorrow.
I mean, there's a few people at the tuner shop in the Yellow Pages. There might be someone there.
They usually don't have S parts is the thing.
Oh.
What did you and you guys talk about anything after we left?
Not really.
No?
We didn't hang around for very long after.
Okay. I just wanted to talk to Suz one-on-one. And then we went to spray the dogs as well. It was good talking to him, I think.
That's good.
so fucking precious when you smile.
Thank you so much, Bobby, for the 5 gift subs. And thank you everyone else for the... thank you for your own sub as well. Thank you.
When you smile.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's six subs from you now, Bobby. Thank you. And I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And everyone who followed. And Virtual, I know you gifted too as well, to Greg and Star. So thank you. We'll see now what happens. It's not gonna be easy for sure. You guys take care of yourselves and thank you for watching. Be back tomorrow.